It's mind, I'm trying to look at the time. It's about 2:30 in the morning, and I'm having a panic attack. And I gotta talk to someone and phone, maybe that's you, or maybe people on the other side of a YouTube upload, maybe that's you. I don't know. I just know that I was having one of those like insomnia nights where you are thinking about everything that happened during the day and everything you got to do the next day, everything that you wanted to do, everything that you need to do. And I was just thinking about all of it, and it was turning into like a panic or anxiety attack. There's a difference between the two, I believe, but I don't know it. Just, I know that feeling. And I've been there before, and it's been a while, but realized I was having an attack lying in bed next to Steph, and I didn't want to disturb her, so I'm downstairs at the spare bed, and probably, I don't know if I'll go back up tonight or if I'll just try to pass it away down here. There's a lot going on. It'd be a lie to say that I'm not concerned about coronavirus itself, but that's not the main crux of it. My job is non-essential. It's retail. It's a bookstore. And management met yesterday, to see what they would do with this rapidly evolving situation. Today we started offering curbside delivery, so that people could order something over the phone and then we'd bring it out to them in their car, rather than them having to come into the store. But I don't think that we should be staying open just because people want to have their social isolation library a little bit bigger. That they realize, oh, I'll grab a couple of board games since the kids are going to be home because all the schools are closed. A few more puzzles. Grocery stores should be open. I think maybe some restaurants should be, but if they can't justify the business, or if they have health concerns for their own staff, then I don't begrudge any that close. But people need food. People need medicine. There are essential services out there, and books are not one of them. So there was a meeting today, and after much deliberation, they're going to close an hour earlier. Instead of 10 to 7, we're open 10 to 6. You know what that is? That is not being concerned for the welfare of the community or of the staff. That is plain and simple. That is saying, you know what? With this, a lot fewer people are coming in. There's nobody here that last hour, so we'll just close early. It's just worrying about profit. It's not worrying about health. I live in New York State, and the governor announced that all gatherings of 50 or more people will be closed. Restaurants cannot do dine-in. They can only do carry-out and delivery. And I really think that at the very least, we should have gone to that carry-out or delivery as well. Keep that curbside and keep mailing, keep doing our web orders. We have an online store. We keep doing that. I think it's grossly irresponsible to have dozens, if not hundreds, of people come into the store a day. At the end of the day, there was this homeless guy that was in there for a couple hours, and homeless people are a thing in Saratoga, and they come through the store, and I try not to bother them too much, and for the most part, they're fine. This guy was just conked out sleeping and in the back, and a couple times we told him to go, and finally worked his way up, and big wet cough into his hand, and then proceeded to touch stuff on the front end. I'm like, dude, I mean, nicer than that, like, sir, don't. But and yes, I know that the COVID-19 is a dry cough symptom, not wet cough, but still, okay, fine, I catch something else, and then my immune system's fighting that off, and then All it takes is one person who is not yet symptomatic. It takes, 3 to 7 days, possibly up to 14 for symptoms to show. One person who's not yet symptomatic, for me to get it, and then to spread it to these dozens or hundreds of people that I interact with a day, times however many days until I start showing symptoms. It's grossly irresponsible for us to be open. So that's thing the first. Carvana's still a pain in the ass because there was cosmetic damage to the car when I picked it up, and the insurance, not the insurance, their warranty program, Silver Rock, that they warranty company that they work with, it's just been an utter pain in the ass. And like 2.5 weeks ago, I got an exception, got an appraisal, and then a little bit delayed, the guy sent it in, and then they never got it, and I complained about it on social media, and this past Friday someone got in touch with me, oh, we'll get it fixed up, and then I got a voicemail message saying, oh yeah, we got an exception for it, so you can go and get an appraisal. I'm like, I did that weeks ago. So I got a call and deal with that. A package would have come for me today that needed a signature, so I gotta go get that. That's not stressful, that's just a thing that I gotta do. And like, I'm off tomorrow, just by a weird quirk of how scheduling works. Like, it's not normally my day off, but I'm off tomorrow. Because I worked Saturday for someone. And like, I was like, you know what, it's St. Patrick's Day and people are worried about like the parades being closed, and I wanted to get like various tchotchkes and stuff, get like some plushes or model cars, the huge Sentinel thing from the Matrix that I've got back there, and line up a whole bunch of stuff in a hallway and take a bunch of pictures and be like, look, it's the St. Patrick's Day parade. And that would have been a fun, creative thing to do, and I don't think that I'm going to have the mental and emotional fuel to do it. Like, my days off, I try to devote to the YouTube channel because it's something that I generally enjoy doing. I try to put like part-time work into it. I get a few bucks a month, and I am so incredibly grateful for all of the patrons out there that do that. For my patrons on Patreon that support me, and I try to make it worth it for them, not just in videos, but to do things for them. And I haven't had the time that I would like to do that, but that's not a COVID thing, that's not a whatever, that's just I'm working full time, and I can't do what I want with YouTube, and that's just another stressor in life that like my hobby that I want to do more with, I don't feel, that I have the time or emotional investment's not the right word, fortitude to do everything that I want to. A couple years ago, I was definitely doing more with it. It wasn't where I expected this to go. So, like, tomorrow's a day off, and normally I would get up, have a bite to eat maybe, let the dogs out, sit down and edit a video or two. I am way behind on getting proper end screens on videos and in organizing them into playlists. So I need to take one of my weekdays off, normally Fridays, but could have been tomorrow, to do all that work. And the longer I put it off, the more work it's going to be. And I feel bad about that. I feel bad about having skipped the recap this past week. I was a day late on the Prey upload, but at least that's uploaded and scheduled. That's ready to go. And it all comes back to work. I can go in and they would be understanding if I said, look, I'm not comfortable working like this in this situation. I wouldn't get paid for not being there. I don't expect them to have bottomless pockets or something, but like they've got to have a rainy day fund to say, close the stores for 2 weeks. So many bookstores across the country are closing. Um, well, maybe we open March 30th or something like that. And paying for their employees to stay home and self-isolate and not have to come into contact with hundreds of people a day. Saratoga County has, last time I checked, 5 cases. That's up from a couple days ago when it was just 3. And it's just going to get worse and worse. And the only way the store is going to close is if one of us gets it, or if nobody comes into the store and it doesn't make sense for them to stay open because they won't get any money out of it. I'm not an official spokesperson for my here unidentified but easy to find out employer. Seriously, just go back a couple weeks, you'll find out who it is. But like, I'm not a spokesperson, and my opinion is not theirs, and blah blah blah, blah 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 blah. They've never given me crap for things I post on social media. I try not to say too much negative, but this is just irresponsible. Everywhere, everyone is taking coronavirus seriously. Maybe overreacting, but I'd much rather that we overreact and not be quite sure than sit here and try to get a few more days of business out of it and facilitate an outbreak in Saratoga County. And I gotta talk to coworkers and see what everybody else wants to do. We're not unionized. The Strand is. They announced a few days ago that they were closing and that they've got pay for all their staff. So I don't know what other people are doing. We don't have a forum to figure that out together. When management decided that we're going to stay open, just curtail our hours by an hour or 2 at the end of the night. Thanks for listening. I don't know that I feel any better, but I've gotten my thoughts out there out loud. It's got to be worth something. I should wash my hands after that. I don't know when I'm going to fall asleep tonight, which is going to make tomorrow even more stressful because whether I'm upstairs or down here, it's going to be super bright in the morning, and I'm not going to get enough sleep. I'm going to be overtired, and I'm not going to have the energy to do anything that I want to do after I do all the things that I have to do. Stay home. Don't go out in public. Maybe go to a friend's place if you're not in an area with a lot of transmission. Have a friend come over. That's probably fine if it's one-on-one. But don't go to a place where you're around dozens of strangers. It's not worth it. Okay? Don't catch something that you have no idea you have until half a week later. A couple people I know are not just self-isolating, but like quarantining themselves for potential contact. Shit's out there. Shit's scary. Take it seriously. Look at Italy. It's serious. Just because it's not that yet doesn't mean that it won't be. It doesn't mean that we can't take measures now to prevent it. Be smart. And stay safe. All of you. Whether you phone, I'm talking to you, and, Maybe give you a good, comforting Clorox wipe. Or you people watching on YouTube, stay safe. Thank you for watching in your isolation. I appreciate it. Stay safe. Take it seriously. It's out there. It's real. And listen to official guidelines and do what you're told. This too shall pass. But we need to take an active part in doing so. I'm not the person you should be listening to about that. But thank you for listening to me about the other stuff. I really do appreciate it. I was wondering if I should make a video talking about it. And just the whole virus thing. Because there's been serious times in the past when I'm like, maybe I should talk about this. No, and I don't. So maybe I should talk about coronavirus because it's the big thing. Like, when there's this was in Wedge's Gambit, X-Wing Wedge's Gambit, when you go to like in a movie or a novel, when the protagonist, espionage, goes to a diner and gets a finger on the pulse of the public. What do they think about? What are they talking about? And it's always stuff that's pertinent to the plot. Oh, well, they're all talking about these rules passed by the emperor or the director or whatever. Imagine going to a tavern in some fantasy thing and everyone there is talking about the beast in the woods. And I'm like, this is too convenient. It's not actually how things go. Steph and I went to a restaurant Friday night. God, Friday was 3 nights ago. It feels like forever. It feels like 2 weeks with how fast everything's going. We were at a restaurant Friday night, and 75% of our conversation was related to coronavirus. It was related to COVID-19. So for all the authors, I was like, that's too convenient. That's a bad plot device. No, I'm sorry. I apologize. It's there. It's how things actually are because everyone's concerned. This is a real thing. This is the next generation's 9/11. And for me, this is maybe more impactful than 9/11. 9/11 was scary. Like 9/11 was an attack on domestic soil. But its after effects didn't affect us. The biggest effect was a lot of American flags showing up on the outside of houses. I know my house got one. But it didn't affect our daily life. This is a much bigger thing as far as like day-to-day life goes. A lot more people are going to end up dead at the end of it too. Yikes. That went there. That's just what I need to calm down. How did I even get on that? Yeah, it's on everyone's mind. It's what everyone's talking about. Don't downplay it. Don't be stupid. Overreact to the thing. Don't go out and hoard toilet paper for fuck's sake. Okay? It's a respiratory disease, not E. coli. But, when it comes to staying out of the public, doing things at home, being with loved ones at home, do the smart thing. Do that. overreact a little. It's much better than the alternative. Minutes I've been talking. All right. Good night, everyone. It's getting close to 3 in the morning. I think I am going to upload this, probably with the title Insomniac Talks Through a Panic Attack or something. You know, something catchy like that. Get all the hits. Go to the aforementioned Patreon. Fuck. Oh, God. Okay. Good night, everybody. Stay safe. You're all important to me. Remember those who are important to you and do the smart thing. Good night.